Hello, everyone. How are you? Happy Tuesday to everyone. Let me not do that. Hopefully, no one will text me right now or call me, but you never know. How is everyone? How is everyone? Yeah, the energy of today is just, and I mean, I know what it is, but like if you're feeling the energy of today, then you are feeling the energy of today. So, just gonna give it another minute or so people can come in because I really want people, especially those who may be on the fence or skeptical or naysayers, to really hear, the conversation that's going to be had. And I'm not going to be here long because, of course, again, in 3 hours, I'll be live with Nyla on our Patreons, right? So, yeah, let me shout out everyone that's here. Hello, Journey. That's my girl, Tech Nerd Girl. Tech Nerd Girl, I got your message. I will write you back. So, and it's funny because you said, I may or may not be asleep. I actually was up being a night owl, but I will definitely write you back. Hey, Isis. Hey, Starry Eyed. Hey, Auntie Sugar. Hey, Mel. Hey, Tim Lee. Yeah, their energy is off. I mean, today is the day, right? Today is the day. We all know what today is, right? So, I scheduled this stream again because unfortunately, and some of my tarot clients, you know who you are, always ask me, why is it that when you are out here minding your business, drinking your water, moisturizing, working out, eating good, living your best life, why are there people who like to start foolishness, who say foolish things? And a lot of times those people are insecure or they're ignorant or they see something in you, the person they are attacking, that they don't see in themselves, right? And unfortunately, around these YouTube parts with me and my small um channel, right? Me minding my business, eating good, because it's Taco Tuesday and Mr. Hoodoo and I are having tacos tonight. There are some people who accuse me of doing things. There have been some people who, I can tell that there are some people trying to figure me out. I can feel that energy. And then there are a lot of people who, because they don't do what I do, right, in the spiritual space, because there are people, who do something similar to what I do, but not exactly what I do, right? There are some people who, because they really just don't know, they condemn what I do and what other people do, who are like me, right? I am a spiritual worker. I do, teach others who want to learn about spirituality, about certain paths of magic. I do teach people how to do things. I do teach about tarot. I do teach about, this the mystical space, the esoteric space. I do those things. Um, but like I said, it's just not fair and it's not right when people just accuse me of doing all types of foolishness to other people. Baby, I haven't done anything. Now, if I wanted to people who talk shit, I surely could. And it wouldn't be a damn thing you could do about it, right? But I truly honestly leave people alone, right? I'm not out here fooling with people or messing with people spiritually or magically because I can. I don't do that. I think that's an abuse of magic. I do feel like you should use magic as a tool the same way you use the internet, to help yourself, to better your life. And what people don't understand is that as a spiritual worker, when I am teaching people, I am responsible, right? With great power comes great responsibility. I am responsible and held to a higher standard of what I'm teaching people and how I'm teaching people. And anyone who has worked with me know I don't go out and say the first thing to do is, to do harm to some people. I don't advocate for harming people who haven't done anything to you. I don't advocate for that because that's not right. Right? I do advocate for protecting yourselves. And I do advocate for if someone starts something, you should finish it. Right? Just leave people alone. But I think most importantly, I'm known for, do your spiritual cleansings, do your protections, do this work to help yourself gain more money, rise to the next level, whatever that may be. I am for that because I have used this work to elevate my life, right? And elevate and help the lives of other people, right? And there are plenty of people who I have helped or have directed them and shown them what to do. And they come back and they say, oh my God, Q, I did what you said. And yes, now I have this. Yes, now I have accomplished that. So once again, I'm not out here advocating for people to harm people with this. Magic is a tool, but it's neutral, just like a pencil is neutral, right? I don't advocate for just harming people for no reason. I don't advocate for that. But you bet your ass I advocate for you protecting yourself and returning shit to sender and for finishing things and doing what you have to do if someone harmed you or your family. I do advocate for that. But just out here just willy-nilly just throwing spells at people, I don't advocate for that. It's disrespectful. And it's not what this is for. Right? So I just wanted to hold this space so that if anyone that I have helped or taught, wanted to come up and really explain to people, especially for people that have gotten to know me, clients or through Patreon, because those of you who have my number know that we talk all the time and you can ask me questions and things like that. And I'm normally available, right? So again, if there is anyone that wants to come up and share their experiences in learning from me or how something I have taught them or directed them to has, helped their life, and really, tell people the truth about my character and who I am, feel free to do so. I'm going to drop the StreamYard link. And if there is someone who wants to come up and share, then, please do that. So let me get the StreamYard link and I'm going to pin it to the chat, hopefully. Hopefully. But let me shout out some other people. Let me put a banner real quick. Okay. So, because I rarely put up banners. Okay, so yeah, let me shout out other people in the chat real quick. Mel, Tim, Auntie Sugar. I love your name, Auntie Sugar. Miss Anonymous. Yes, my sister in Greekdom. Starry Eye, Journey with Karen. Hey, Lil. Lil is my boo. If you ever feel the need to verbally destroy someone, call me, call Lil. We're the captains of the drill team. Okay, so just to let y'all know, we're here for the shits verbally. So, hey girl. Hey TMKC, Miss Asha, Donna Dash. Yeah, so I'm gonna pin the link. I'm gonna not Lil one. I'm gonna put the link here. So anyone who wants to come up, now we are gonna talk one person at a time. I'm not gonna do a panel because sometimes, the conversation can quickly shift. But yeah, I'm gonna put the link here. And if anyone wants to come up and just share something, because again, people really just have this idea in their heads because they don't understand what I do, because they have no knowledge, because they have no practical knowledge of the spiritual space and actually doing magic and spell work or whatnot. People are just out here just saying something, anything. I'm just out here doing such and such, such and such. I haven't done anything to anyone in this space. But, like I said, I do want it to be known that if you come for me, I have a spiritual right to protect myself. So, okay, we have somebody here. Let me add you to the stage, girl. Hey, Isis. Not TMKC saying, hey, Lek. That's right, Lek. Make sure you LE capital C capital K, Lek. It's Lek. So, yeah. So, hey girl, you're muted. Okay, there you
Hey, can you hear me?
go. Yep, I can hear you, girl. What's up? What's
My
up?
bad. I was trying to be nosy and run to the chat so I can giggle. How you doing?
I'm good, boo. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Um,
Good.
so when you first asked me to do this, I got super excited because as you just said, every time something new happens, I immediately run and tell you. So I'm happy to like share my experiences with you, with everybody else that is listening. So how you guys doing? Um, so me and Q met a little over a year ago by way of me contacting her for reading. Actually, I saw her in one of Nyla's streams late night, in where was I driving through? Somewhere in the middle of the country, middle of the night, couldn't really see nothing. And they were talking about spirituality and a bunch of esoteric stuff. And she mentioned that she does reading. So I reached out to her because I had been questioning a lot of things in my life. And when we connected, I one of my first questions I asked her was, I had just become a truck driver or was in the middle of my training of truck driving. And I asked her, so is this going to be the thing that I guess propels me to financial freedom? And she pulled the cards and immediately she was like, I'm
Nope.
sorry to tell you this, but no.
I remember that conversation. You
I'm
had
sorry
no.
to tell you this, but no. And at first, I mean, I giggled because I knew she was telling the truth, and not because I giggled because I had already kind of been feeling in that vein, which is why I was asking. And before I could explain anything to her, or actually, kind of explain how I got into truck driving, right? Needed a way to kind of leave home. It was quick. I could hurry up and get on the road, get my license, and do what I needed to do. She pulled some more cards and she told me, well, Spirit said it's not going to work out because, like, this is not what you want to do. You use it as a way to run from all of your problems instead of facing your problems and dealing with them, and they're still back at home waiting on you. So, kind of until you get that worked out, this is not really it for you. In addition to that, it's not really where you want your life to be headed. All of the things that you see for yourself going forward, including being able to like commit time to self care and growing, you're not going to be able to do that on the road. Now, mind you, I had not even mentioned all of the whole self care stuff to her, but she saw it. And I knew it was true because right before our conversation, that was what I was really focusing on, how to take care of myself, how to get into therapy and do all of the things that, is for me instead of caring for my family. Now, moving on from there, she also mentioned that I needed to sit down and kind of self reflect. I was holding on to a lot of things from my childhood that wasn't really helping me to move forward, which was true. And I'm not going to get into those little details of that, but it was true. Moving on to a few months later down the road, I kind of fell back. I lurked in Nyla's chat for a few months before I actually said anything to most of you guys. But that's where me and Q reconnected, probably like 6 months after my first reading. Um, she mentioned her Patreon, and so I joined. Hey, the first reading went well. She was actually, oh, let me back up. So, in that reading, she told me that the truck driving was not going to last a year. And she was right. I want to say the reading that me and you had was August.
I think it
possibly.
was August. I do, yeah, it maybe was around August,
Yeah, I
September-ish.
think it was like August, September. My last day of driving for the company that I was with was, what's today? Child, the 30? Is it the 31st? October 30th actually was my last day driving with that
Oh,
company.
synchronicity.
Um,
Yes, yes, yes.
yes. So needless to say, I left because things. She was right. It just wasn't for me. Being on the road, being in dirty bathrooms, it just wasn't the way that my ladylike life needed to be aligned with at that moment. So I went ahead and left. But I joined her Patreon, and one of the things that she pushes is like the basics: cleansing, protection, doing your blockbuster and your road opening work and your money work. And so I read, I took notes, and I started to actually do the work because, like she says, reading and study doesn't really help progress you unless you actually do something. So I started to do a few little things, did a little research here and there about how and the different ways I could do the work, do the magic for myself because I was pretty new to it. And then something else happened. We were in a stream maybe, I want to say like 3 months ago. Late night, this was right around the time of, what was that crazy girl's name who lied about her being kidnapped? The one who said she saw the baby in the road?
Yeah, I forgot her name, but yeah.
Whatever her name is,
Yeah,
it
we
was
know.
around that time. We were having a late night stream, and I mentioned that my sister, or I have a bunch of sisters, but one of my sisters was actually missing at the time. Um, she had some mental health issues, some substance issues, and it had probably been like a year since the family had heard from her. She stopped the stream. Well, in the middle of the stream, she told me, listen, reach out to your ancestors, sit and have a conversation with them, and ask them what you should do. Because I believe I asked her for like a way of locating somebody. She said, talk to your ancestors. So I did that. And 48 hours later, we were getting notice from a hospital in a different city that she had been admitted and that we needed to come down there and start a whole bunch of paperwork to get her into treatment. Um, so that's just another instance of me reaching out to Q about an issue in my life, her giving me some advice, me taking the advice, or things kind of happening the way that she said it was going to happen. Now, if y'all know anything about mental health and substance abuse, it's kind of a up and down situation. But ever since then, I've been speaking to my ancestors, and at least once a month, we are getting notice about where my sister is. Now, she hasn't really reached the point of her ready, being ready for help, but we at least know where she was. And a year ago, we didn't know that. She had probably been missing for a year and a half. No, 2 years at that point, because the last time we had heard from her was 2020 when the pandemic started. Um, let's see, what else? Another time, not to get y'all all into my family's business and stuff, uh, but at home, it's been a little tension between my parents, and they've been married for over 20 years, but it's been tension, it's been drama, it's, in my opinion, a toxic situation for everybody involved. But needless to say, I was getting to that point where I felt like I needed to run away again. And it didn't work the first time, so I knew, let me try something different. I have been doing my cleansing work and my protection work, and so now I needed to kind of be specific about the things that I wanted to ask for, which is Another one, accused lesson. Don't just do the work. You have to know what you want, why you want it, be specific. And so I asked during my protection, during my cleansing, to remove negative energy. It didn't matter to me if it was coming from the outside, from the inside. We just needed peace in our house, peace in our home. The negativity towards each other, the hateful thoughts and the words, all of that stuff just needs to go. A couple of days later, my dad left. Um, they're working things out, but he removed himself from the home, which was very unexpected, came out of nowhere. It allowed for quiet in the home, but it was still very tense. And in addition to that, I felt like the money drawn work that I was doing wasn't hitting. So I again reached out to Q, sent a little email. Hey, this is the situation. This is what I've been doing for the situation. These are the things that have been affected, and this is what's not working. At that point, we sat and had a conversation, and in that conversation, she gave me some more tools, made some more suggestions. But what really stood out to me was when she mentioned, hey, like you need to ask for more kindness from everybody. And I had to take a little setback and I mean, yeah, people, things can be peaceful, it can be quiet, but yeah, what I really want is for them to learn how to be kind to each other. And then I had to dig a little deeper and say, well, maybe, Corinne, you aren't the kindest person walking around either. And maybe some of that shit kind of rubs off into all of the other contentious situations at the house. So that's what I asked for. And it may sound like small things, but since then, and this is pretty recent, um, us as a family have been able to kind of work better together. My parents know how to speak to each other a little nicer all of a sudden, which is a huge deal if you know anything about them, because it can go from like 0 to 2,000 in the blink of an eye. Um, so I say all of that to say that the work does work. Uh, it is real when you know what you're doing, when you know why you're doing it, and you can feel an energy change. Like, y'all are not here, but I can feel the energy shift in my household from the way that we wake up in the morning and communicate with each other to how we interact with other people in our everyday lives. You can kind of feel the energy shift. Um, I mentioned money. And
Oh, this is a good one because you and I just talked about this, what, maybe like
just
2 weeks ago? So yeah, don't give them the resource, but just let them know. Let them know.
absolutely. So, like I said, my I felt like what I was doing for my money drawing just wasn't working. So we had some conversations. She gave me some tools, and I let's see, because I don't like to lie.
No, we tell the truth over here.
Let's see.
When was that? That literally had to be, what was it?
That
Maybe
was like two
3,
two
2.
days ago, two
Oh,
three
oh,
days ago.
uh-huh. Because it was like 2, 3 weeks ago when you contacted me about that, and because it was before I went to LA. So it probably was like 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago to a month ago, where you contacted me about that. And I was just like, okay, we'll try this.
Yes, and I'm looking for the text right now, but maybe 3 days ago, I text her because the night before, my sister called me and was like, "Hey, I just got contacted about this job that they want us to do. It's in Miami. I'm flying down. I need to know if you're available." The job pays like $3,000. It's for 3 days worth of work where I'm basically not doing anything but showing my face, and it came out of nowhere. I don't know who contacted her about this job. I think it's one of the
October 17th.
yes, okay, it's one of the agencies that she works with, and I don't know why they thought of me, but hey, I'm down here, I'm available. So I told, yeah, go ahead and put my name in, um, and let them know that I'm down here. But it came out of nowhere. And immediately after I got off the phone with my sister, I text Kim, was like, hey, girl, remember that thing you told me to do? Well, I did it, and this is what just happened. Um, and now I actually have another job that I haven't told you about. Probably like
Oh.
a week from then. Um,
Well,
but it works. It works, and I know it works because it's been working for me. I can't really speak for other people, but everything that she has suggested, told me, the tools and resources that she's given me to like use and work on my own have worked. Actually, you know what? She did a she does this monthly reading at the beginning of the month, and she did one for August. My sister's birthday is August 5th.
yep, I remember that one.
I sent that reading to her. In the reading, she mentioned that she didn't know who, but somebody who had been working hard looking for work, they were going to get a job or get some money before the end of August. August 28th, my sister called me at like 8 o'clock in the morning and was like, hey, guess what? I got this job. I don't know how, but somebody that knew somebody else that knew me recommended me for this position up here. And then I had to remind her, I was like, well, you remember I sent you that video like 2, 3 weeks ago that you're going to be getting a job before the end of the month. And she was like, yeah, I do remember. And she's never met Q. Q has never met her. I've mentioned Q to her and the fact that I've had readings and things and, get my spiritual teachings and stuff from over there, but they have never interacted. And I had no idea that, it was going to be talking about her, but she hit me up before the end of August and was like, yeah, I got the job. So that's just another instance of her giving me information, putting out information for us, and it working. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about that besides it work. And again, she's never met my sister. Um, for whoever doesn't think that it's real, I kind of feel sorry for you because one thing I can say is that she has a gift and she shares it with the rest of us, and not out of a space of like greed, but she really wants us to learn and be able to do these things for ourselves in our own lives, and I've experienced that because she's helped me with it. And hopefully those that are still on the fence, still questioning and wondering, whether or not this is real, whether or not she can help, and like she's the real deal. um I'm a skeptic just in life in general. And it was something about that first live that I saw of her and Nyla's that drew me to her. I've told her this, and I've actually thanked Nyla for that introduction. I'm sure Nyla doesn't even know what live I'm talking about, but something drew me to her. Middle of the night, and the very next day I booked a reading. Since we've been connected, these things have been kind of happening out of nowhere. I'll go back to the situation between it's the toxic situation. All of the stuff that we talk about on these lives and relate, it's kind of like that. And so the fact that it took a switch out of nowhere, like I'm surprised every time I look at my daddy because part of me is like, okay, well, when is he gonna flip? But he hasn't. And it seems like they've been working internally on their own stuff, but 2 months ago it wasn't that. And had I not done the work that I've done, I can guarantee you that it would not be that today. So
Yeah, girl. Well, I thank you for sharing because again, a lot of people hear magic and spell work, and I understand that there is a level of skepticism with it because it's woo woo. Like you can't see the woo woo, right? But people do have to try things for themselves. But I don't. Whatever it is that I'm teaching you all or showing you all is all things that I have done, and I wouldn't put you all in harm's way or introduce you to something that you may not be ready for or that could potentially harm you. Because, like I said, me as the teacher, that will be my spiritual debt to hold.
yeah, it would be irresponsible. And another thing I do want to touch on before somebody else comes is the fact that you really, really push like self reflection. You push the fact that you have to know yourself first fully, or whoever you working with, working for, before you can kind of do anything, because it'll affect the outcomes. And so if you don't know yourself and you don't know what you want and why you want it, then nothing can really happen. Because I mean, now you haven't flat out said this, but at least my understanding is that the universe would be confused. If you don't know what you want, then how are the spirits in the universe expected to do for you that you don't even know what it is that you want done?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I really thank you for, just really sharing and just being honest because just like Corinne said, she's a skeptic, right? And I know my sis Lil, in the chat, Lil is revenge in the chat. I know she is too. And one thing about me is I never push what I believe onto people, but I do tell people like, if you're on this path, I just need you to um work and try things out for yourself. And when the work manifests, that is going to take you from I believe and I'm skeptical to, I'm skeptical to I believe and I know. And like I said, I never push it on anyone, but I do encourage people that when they are ready, you know where to find me. So I thank you for coming up. I'm gonna bring up my other homegirl right here, Mel. So get ready to come on up. And I thank you, Boo.
Yes, ma'am. It was my
So
pleasure. It was my pleasure.
you want to, that's up to you. But yeah, we're gonna bring Mel in.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead back down to the chat. All
Okay. All right,
right.
girl.
Hi,
Hey, Boo, how are you?
I'm doing good. Just wanted to come on this evening and talk about my own experiences, of course. So I guess I'll just jump right into it. So I think I remember the live that the last lady was talking about. It was a live that Nyla had with quite a few, uh, quite a few practitioners that had a lot of experience, and it really opened my eyes to. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we
Hello?
can hear you. Yep, you're good. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so it kind of opened my eyes to, and I'm coming from a Christian, a super conservative Christian background, and it opened my eyes to how the world really operates and seeing the world and people through a completely different lens than what I had seen before. You know, after stepping out of the prison that is, and I'm not downing religion, I truly believe that, everyone has the right to practice and to believe as they will. But just for me personally, my life took a completely different direction after I left the religion that I was in. And meeting you opened my eyes to, or rather confirmed my suspicions, because I always felt as if there was something that I was supposed to know about spiritual workings or the spiritual world, or how those kind of things kind of operate. And it just, what I'm trying to say is that it really opened my eyes. And when I dove into certain topics, it just made sense. Just to give you an example, I had my suspicions of quite a few different situations in my life. One, a friend whose significant other is not completely 100% faithful to her. I was able to find that out. Now, granted, how does that information benefit me? It doesn't, but it helps me in how I move with that friend or how I would go about dealing with them. Um, just to, give them a little bit of a heads up, um, not necessarily to push them away, because I understand some people, if you talk about their relationship with them, you lose them as a friend. But what I'm trying to say is spirituality really helps you to understand people's true motives, their true emotions, what they're really feeling subconsciously, because they'll be smiling in your face pretending that they're okay when they're really not. Um, Diving into spiritual workings, personally, like I said, coming from a super Christian conservative background, um, not really Christian either, but doing spiritual work has helped me to cleanse my life of a lot of heavy negative energy that I've been carrying around my entire life. And literally, the time when that heavy negative energy started lifting was when I met Q, and she started teaching me about, how to spiritually cleanse yourself, how to protect yourself before any workings, um, how to make sure that it is the right time to do a working, when is the right time for any money ritual, so on and so forth. I mean, the list goes on, but the point is, it has only benefited me. And Q is not one of those readers or workers that's going to tell you what you want to hear, but she'll tell you what you need to hear to benefit your life. And I personally think that that's way more beneficial than all these itty bitty people walking around calling themselves readers, when all they touch on is the love and light aspect of things, rather than things in life that are not necessarily what you want to hear. You can't go through your entire life wanting people to sugarcoat things for you, things that as an adult you should be able to handle. So I personally like the fact that, I get the truth in the raw, rather than getting, oh yeah, everything's wonderful, everything's going to work out. Because then when things don't work out, and let's say she saw it, how would you feel if you weren't given the full story, the full truth? It's more beneficial to be told the truth, even when it's hard to hear. And it doesn't necessarily mean that she's like, I know a lot of people, they take offense to being told the truth, or they take offense to being told what the situation currently is, but we have to be open to that. The whole point of stepping into spirituality is being open minded. And you can't consider yourself open minded if you're not ready for the cold, hard truth. And sometimes life really is the cold, hard truth. And when life is good, of course, life is good as well. So, sorry, really long winded, but that's all I wanted to say.
No, I appreciate you. Yeah, and that's the thing too, going back to what's real, what's truth. I only tell people what I see. And the part about, divination and being able to see things is so that you can prepare or navigate or swerve around something and, be able to deal with something. If you have the not, like, people always want to say, like, if they only knew, they do it differently. Well, that's the entire point of divination and seeing into things. So you can find out so that you can prepare, right? You're not left out here wondering or unprepared, right? And just to add on to that, some people really don't want to hear the truth about things, because when it's not what they want to hear, you know, they get mad and they get upset, tying into my live stream earlier. about the truth about spiritual work is that a lot of times people shoot the messenger, i.e. me, when it's something that they don't want to hear, but I have to be truthful. I have to stay honest, to those who come to me, as well as to this path that I was born into, right? To be honest with people. And all of you, who have come to me, you all know that we have a good relationship. We have a good rapport. And never do I ever tell you all to book another reading or buy this from me, or I never do that to you all. I always give people the space that if they choose to want to come to me, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine, because I am confident in my ability to help those who come to me. Like, I never have to push things, or I don't do that, because that's not what this is for. This path in this life, being able to help other people, is to help them, not to take advantage of them or try to scam them or try to bully them or browbeat them or persuade them into buying anything or scheduling anything with me. I like to build relationships, and people know, like on my Patreon and even here on YouTube, I call us a small community, because we are a community. And in this community, we help each other out. And not that I'm the head of the community, but I'm put here to help, and I really do just want to help people and bring people another tool with which to, better their lives. So yeah, yeah. And I see Flora is saying here, hey girl, she said, Q, it's hard because when I left the Mormon church, I grew closer with a higher being I can't identify. Now, I'm not going to identify that being for you. That's for you to do, but for me, that is spirit. That is the interconnected, some people call it God or whatever. That is the interconnected energy that connects us all. And in my opinion, you know, um, it's there for you to build your relationship with, right? And I get it. She says it makes everything so skeptical for my mind, but I'm listening and learning. And like I said, I'm never going to push anyone into anything. I simply let people know that I'm available if they are ready, and when they are ready. I am here to help explain things to you, or teach people something like that. I don't do that. I don't do that, because that's scam and grift energy. I don't do that. Um, so, but yeah, I thank you so much, Mel, for coming up here and just, sharing your experiences with me, because again, I think some people who don't understand, or some people who, for whatever reason, want to paint me as something else and paint what I do as something else, that's not fair. So I wanted to give people who have a good relationship with me the space to be completely honest about what I do and how I do things, right? And all of you
Mhm.
can attest that I don't push anything on any of you all. I don't do that. And I don't do that. And
Amazing.
any of you all on my Patreon know I don't talk smack about other people. Literally on my Patreon, I'm just literally putting out the information and why you should do certain things. Um, that's all I'm doing. So, it's sad that some people resort to such juvenile tactics, but listen, everyone, change is constant and growth is optional. And they have to choose to grow and be better and do better. That's not for me to do for them. So, but I do appreciate you, Mel. I appreciate you, Boo.
Thank you for having me.
Of
And
course.
yeah, to all the naysayers, literally, seriously, they need to really get a life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, let me go. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So, that was, again, I'm just holding this space, for people who truly work with me to share their thoughts and opinions and their experiences with how I am, how I operate, and just showing that this work is real and that who I am as a person and how I operate, it's not any of that negativity or foolishness that people try to paint on me because it's spiritual work. Oh, well, thank you, Kev. I mean, I appreciate it, and y'all know I really have my Cash App banner up. Um, but I'm gonna start putting it up more because, even sharing information like this is work, right? But yeah, I just wanted to offer this space for anyone who wanted to share their experiences with me to let people know the truth, and then, the truth of who I am. Y'all know, y'all who work with me, my clients, the people I have good rapport with, y'all know the same cue that you see and hear on this here YouTube channel is the same cue that I am, when we're talking privately via phone call or text message or something. I'm the same cue. I don't change. I'm not out here faking. I'm not out here being messy. I'm not doing any of that. So yeah. Boom. Okay. So yeah, if anybody else had anything else to say, let me know. If not, I'm going to go. Yeah, people are terrible. People are terrible. Oh yeah, Lil, I come with the band hammer. I come with the band hammer. I am quick to off with their heads. Okay, off with their heads. Essence of Offset says Q is great in her spiritual work, and I'm not above talking about people. Now listen. We all have that little bit of where we have to get messy just a little bit, but overall, like 99% of the time, I'm not getting messy, right? Because, the work works and the work speaks for itself, right? And I know some people like to think in their minds that I'm less than because I have a smaller channel, right? Um, as opposed to their channels, which are monetized and things like that. But we see the insecurities. We see them, right? We see the projections, we see the insecurities, we see the lack of knowledge, and we see the ignorance, right? At least I do, right? And I don't have to come up here and make up things in readings and lie about people because, you know, just a little just a little messy, just a little bit. And it really is no shade. I'm living a great life. I am living an absolutely wonderful, great life because it's good when you drink your water and mind your business and eat your food, right? So I say all that to say, people use the incorrect measuring sticks. And I know that for some people, y'all are upset because you don't know what I look like, you don't know how I live, you don't know what's going on for me, and that's okay. But just know that the work is real and how I impact others honestly, truthfully, and how I help others is real. So, absolutely low vibrating. Hey, Brittany. Hey, girl. Yeah, I'm very, very humble because I am grateful for lots of things. My community. I'm grateful for the family. I'm grateful for what some of y'all would say is an acre husband, but my husband is not an acre. Because my husband is out here on his divine masculine doing what he's supposed to do, right? I am grateful that I'm treated well and loved. I am grateful for the bounty of food, for the safety and the way I live my life. I am thankful for that. And it is sad when some people have never experienced those things, but like I said, I could pop that shit. I don't. I just, like I said, drink my water. you know, and those of you who know what I look like Nyla, I'm 40. I don't look 40. I don't look 40, right? Y'all can tell by my skin, I'm not aging out here like a 100-year-old handbag. Um, you know, so yeah, Tech Nerd Girl says those who know, yep. And could, Miss Anonymous, yep. Lilith's Revenge. Stay hydrated, boys and girls. That's right. And get your sleep, your 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and rest and comfort, and eat well and exercise, and take your vitamins, and all those things that lead to a great life. Drink water and mind your business. Yeah. Drink your water. Yeah. Hey, Miss Coco B. No, Mr. Hoodoo is not a nigger. The husband that buys you a brand new BMW is not a nigger. So, which my husband did 1 year for my birthday. Bought me a brand new BMW, but that's neither here nor there. Right? Laura said, who is this? Laura, who said that, sis? Mr. Hoodoo is handling his business. Yeah, there are people who, yeah. Yeah, like I said, yeah. My work and my life speaks for itself. Hey, liberated soul rebel. Yes, not the leather goods. Yep. Yeah, there are some people who are out here tarnishing before our very eyes, and it's very sad. Yeah, wash your bum bum. Yep, get some rest. Yeah. So, yeah, which is sad. Which is sad. I'm waiting for my man to walk through the door so he can get started on making these tacos tonight. Because we're having beef and steak tacos tonight. But anywho, yeah, I feel like, it's almost 4 o'clock, so he's probably gonna get ready to leave work. Get ready to leave work. I enjoyed my time in LA with my husband last week. We're going back to LA, probably to Lake Tahoe or Vegas for Thanksgiving. We haven't fully decided yet, so we're out here living our lives. Yes, tarnishing. Have y'all ever seen like brass that like tarnishes? Or like silver, like when it tarnishes and it's just like you can fix that by taking care of it. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so that's really about it, unless anybody else wanted to come up and say something. If someone wants to come up and say something really quick, let me know and I'll drop the link again. So I'll give, just a minute or so to see if someone else wants to say anything before I go. Yeah, it does get that dirty color. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, drink your water and eat healthily, decent, a good 80-20 diet is good. All right, because even I like the occasional cookie or two. But 80-20 diet, drink your water, rest, exercise, practice gratitude, mind your business and stop being messy, and you'll be on to a great life. So yeah. Let me know if anybody else wants to come up really quickly. And if not, I'll end this stream. Shout out to the playback game. Let me see. Let me switch on over real quick. Yeah, cutting out sugar. Yeah, like I've been really good with the not as much dairy because I do like to have fresh baked chocolate chip cookies with milk. So what I've been trying lately is oat milk. We got some oat milk at Publix, and I'm like, okay, it's cool. Because almond milk doesn't have the density of regular milk. So I don't like that. I don't like coconut milk either. But oat milk was okay. But I've just really just been cutting out dairy because dairy gives you phlegm, right? And then it starts that inflammation, right? So we don't want that. Have I discussed the full moon in Taurus yet? No, I really haven't. I still got to go back and examine a lot of that energies because it's the full moon in Taurus, but we have some conjunctions coming up. And then Saturn is, if Saturn has not already stationed direct, Saturn is going to station direct in Pisces again. So that's going to be a really big shift, right? Because of Saturn being what Saturn is. But no, I haven't um talked about that. I don't think I will though. But tomorrow I am gonna go into November new messages or whatever. Okay, yeah, Starry Eye wants to come up really quickly. I'll give it to Starry Eyed. And to Lil, to answer your question, once Starry Eyed comes up, then I'm gonna head over to Brother Moses' stream. So if y'all want to go over to Brother Moses' stream, go support Brother Moses, right? Because Brother Moses, he's on his game as well. Yeah, I just really, I'm not even really a cheese person. Um, there you go, Starry Eyed. And just as someone who I'm in a good relationship with, I'm currently texting them back now because they asked me about something for their birthday. I'm texting them back now. Those people who have my phone number, because everyone doesn't get my phone number. Cheese is good too. Like I like good cheese. Like my favorite cheese is pepper jack. So if I'm doing like a hot sandwich, like grilled cheese or something like that, I want pepper jack, or like a burger, then I want pepper jack cheese. But I do like pepper jack for BLTs with cheese, or like if I'm doing like a croissant, bacon and cheese croissant, but I've been staying away from the bread and stuff like that too, because we all know, the 3 grams of water for every 1 gram of carbs that your body needs to process carb, and then I'll be bloated, right? And we can't have that, right? I got to be cute when I put on my dress. So I don't even deal with carbs like that. Okay, so let's bring up Starry Eye.
Hello.
Hey, girl.
Hi, I'm nervous.
We just having a conversation.
I know, and I've spoken to you before, so I don't know. You and Nyla, you guys inspire me so much, and it's always nice speaking to you and learning from you guys, honestly. I've come such a long way since we first chatted, and I'm very appreciative for your help. I'm always saying thank you like a million times. But I'm so appreciative, and I'm grateful for all that I'm able to learn because I have grown. Like I've been putting this work in, okay? It
Mm.
has been a journey, but I'm making it through it. So, um, what I wanted to say is, so when I first met Q was when I was a couple of years out of my NAC relations. That's what I like to call it, my NAC relations, y'all. So is when what I dealt with when I was dealing with the NACR, which did result in my son, who I love and has been driving me crazy. But that's all working out because of, again, Q's help. So, anyways, and in my family, in a lot of things. But, um, we learn all that we learn from Nyla and Taz and Cynthia and whoever else's platforms. I like to go to other people as well. And I don't know if we pay attention to the spiritual ties that come with going through a NAC relations. And I didn't realize the attachment and the tie like a very strong tie, and even further attacks that have been put on me and that have been connected to me through what I was going through. So, and like I'm coming through it and I'm healing because that I did the work myself. I started it myself, and I was led into Nyla's and Sin's and Taz's and everybody's channels. So I was already working on growing, but like I was just like caught in this rut. And then I was going through like very personal traumatic things. And I'm like, I'm working hard because I've always been a hard worker, but I couldn't figure out why I wasn't progressing. Like why did I feel caught and bound and turns out I was. So anyways, that's when I started picking up on my journey because I had already started it. I'm like a lot of people. Like I grew up in the church. I was a choir director. I was like heavy youth leader and all this stuff, other stuff like that. Like I was the A student, all that stuff. So this what they talk about has been very familiar to me. So, whew, sorry, I'm nervous. So,
Ooh, this is family. We family here.
so like as I've grown and as I've learned, like oh my goodness, like even just this past year since I had my, and that's why I always be posting a link, y'all go and see what they talking about because they talk about some stuff. But since I've been, putting this type of work in, oh my goodness, let me tell you, like the relief, I feel so much better. And like I said, I'm still dealing with things, but it's made things easier. Like things have always had a way of working out for me. But like when I like Q, like you know how I tell you I see synchronicities, how I see repeating numbers all the time. I see synchronicities on top of synchronicities on top of them now. Like it has like tripled at this point. It's so crazy. So anyways, like as I continue to do the work, like as she said, like it works. If you just do the work, it's nothing. It's nothing, and that's what I like about her as well. She's very practical. It's nothing like the woo, as you would say. Like yeah, there's elements that feel that way, but like it's really it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm STEM, so like I have a very technical mind. So
Same,
like I,
same. Me
mhm.
too.
Yeah,
I
IT, yeah.
yeah, a career in IT and cybersecurity, and I'm
Mhm.
low wondering do I want to go back to it. But yeah, my mind works very differently than most people's. But continue.
No, yeah, absolutely. And like the way it does the way it translates to me, it's like that makes perfect sense. Oh my goodness. So I apply it and I see the results. And I like, as you said, like, and that's what I also appreciate. Like, you're not trying to make me be you. Like, I take, you know, the subject of it and I apply it to who I am. And I've been doing that and I've been working and I've been keeping my notes on it and all those different things. And like I see the results. I see how it works for me and I see how I can improve because like I said, I have a tattoo and it says change is inevitable, growth is optional, and I've always chosen to grow. So I appreciate this platform and this space because like I have a very Christian family. No hate to the Christians, but just to say the mindset and the rituals there. Like I have both sides of the family too, everybody religious. I come from pastors and deacon, all that, okay? So I've never really been able to explore this topic. So it's a dynamic place to be, which is again why I always post a link. So that's all I had to say.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and shout out to Starry Eye because you do always like post a link. And I do appreciate that support because sometimes I'm talking about something, or usually my hands are doing something wild because I'm reading or whatever. So I do
Mhm.
appreciate your support and just always being ready with the link, telling people to hit the link. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate that, and I do appreciate your truthful words, about how I may have impacted you and things like that. So, like I said, I truly appreciate it, and like I said, we are a small community, um, but we are mighty. And again, like I said, I really just really really want so many people to stop raw dog in life
Mhm.
without a spiritual tool, like because the way stuff is going on out here and the way the society is restructuring, I
Why
see
would you
something.
do that?
Yeah, why would you do that? Why would you be out here raw dogging life? Like I see people in, oh, their boss is doing such and such. Oh, your boss got their foot on your neck. I mean, you could fix it if you want to so that it can leave you alone. But
Hmm.
you listen to other people, so you're afraid of how I can teach you to, you know, gain some dignity back, at
Right.
work, or, getting that promotion, getting that apartment, because I don't care what anyone says. You need a house or an apartment with which to live, unless you're going to go live on Skid Row, in a cardboard box. But I don't want that for you. I want you all to be happy and flourishing and in a state of peace and, all these different things, because like I said, I have curated my life in that way, right? And
Hmm.
doing things, that I had to do, to move our life along, right? To move our life along, especially when things were tough with the panorama. You
Hmm.
know, 3 years ago the panorama was panoraming, and I had to listen. You can sit and deal with all of the contrition and all of the pushback, or you can do that work and get things moving along. Um, for yourself, especially for those who have like children and things like that. It doesn't have to be that way, but if we keep listening to the things that tell us not to do it because they really don't want you to be in control of your own power. They want you to be scared, right? Because fear is a frequency. Fear
Hmm.
and lack and desperations are frequencies, right? That remove the power from you. That's what the powers that be wants. But I rebuke that. And like I said, curate my life. And I just want y'all to too. Like I said, especially as women and especially as people who have children, because I don't care what anyone says, if you need to get your child into this good school that's going to lay the foundation for the rest of their life, do that work. Do it.
Absolutely.
Do that work or that raise that you need because inflation is for real out here. I went and bought tomatoes, guacamole, 2 packs of taco seasoning, and some blueberries and something else at Target earlier today, and that was like it was like $20 just for that. Inflation is, but when you are doing your work and you know that your money is gonna money, and not saying that you don't pay attention to what things cost, but when you are in that energy of this is good, I got it, you don't worry as much, right? Like I
Exactly.
said, always rebuke the spirit of desperation. Like I said, I really, 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 really just want people to stop raw dog in life and learn something so you can better your odds out here because so many things going on. The strange things are afoot at the Circle K. So, yeah,
Well,
so
thank you so much for this time up here. I'm making some black eyed peas right now, so I gotta
ooh, sis.
go.
Yeah, we had our red beans and rice and
Hmm.
he made the red beans, the rice, the honey cornbread, and then he had made some roasted Cornish hens. Oh my goodness, it was
Ooh,
so good.
I
It was
was just talking about Cornish hens to one of my coworkers. She ended up buying some, so now that lets me know this is the second time. See what I'm saying? So now I
mhm,
gotta go get
yeah, girl, girl, them Cornish
them.
good, girl. Yeah,
Yes.
so
Okay, well,
so
have a great one.
all right. Well,
And I'll
I'm
see
gonna
you.
end this stream, and thank you so much for coming up because I know we're gonna roll over to Brother Moses's, right? So I'll see you all over there in Brother Moses's chat, and then don't forget if you are on my Patreon at 6 o'clock, Nyla and we're gonna discuss the situation that needs discussing. Okay, so I just ask that everyone come to the discussion with an open mind, so that we can fully explain the spiritual energies of some things. So that's 6 o'clock California time, 9 p.m. Eastern time on my Patreon. Nyla's going to stream it from her Patreon as well. We're going to stream together. Um, but it's only going to be on Patreon. Because the topic is it's a little too hot to handle right now. But I have to bring the spiritual truth of some things, and we're gonna have, we're gonna get into it all. But yeah, so yeah, I appreciate you all coming through and sitting here with me. If you are new to my channel, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I just bring nothing but spiritual and esoteric truth. I do readings over here if you like that kind of stuff from someone who is honest, right? And actually knows what she's talking about because I've been doing spiritual work for a good while, right? Then, stay and, become part of the family. If you want to learn or want to start learning and peeking into, esoterics and spirituality and magic, please join my Patreon, right? You can find the link on my YouTube channel, because I am teaching over there, so that people have a foundation, to work with and they're able to fix things and do things correctly and properly, right? So, that being said, I'm going to go. I thank you all for being here, and we are going to We're gonna go over to Brother Moses because he says a stream for 420 and it's almost that time. So again, I love you all. I'll see some of you all on the Patreon, and then I'll see you all tomorrow on my channel for November 1st. Checking the energies for November 1st. So I love y'all. See you all in these YouTube streets. Bye. Yes, TMKC tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. So literally like in a couple of hours, Nyla and I, we're going to be live from both of our Patreons. But if you just want to learn the spiritual stuff, learn the magic and stuff like that, join my Patreon because that's where I teach things at. Okay? All right, cool. Bye, everyone. Happy Halloween. Stay safe. Happy Mars Day. Stay safe and stay moisturized.